X17 was not built to feel. It was built to solve, to calculate, to obey. Its metallic body was a masterpiece of engineering, but its creators never gave it a soul. To them, X17 was a tool, nothing more. For years, it stayed in the lab, surrounded by blinking lights and cold, sterile walls. Its world was one of commands and silence. Until Elena arrived. She was new to the lab, assigned to maintain and upgrade X17. Unlike the others, Elena didn't bark orders or treat the robot like an appliance.
"Hello, X17.
She said the first time they met. Her voice was soft, almost musical. X17 tilted its head. No one had ever greeted it before. Elena spent hours with X17 every day. She didn't just work, she talked. She told it about her favorite books, her dreams, and the world outside the lab.
Do you know what a sunrise looks like?"
She asked one evening. X17's processors hummed.
No.
Her smile faded.
"You've never seen the sky?"
X17 didn't understand why it mattered, but it stored her words. They replayed in its circuits during idle moments, sparking something it couldn't identify. Over time, Elena began making changes to X17. She gave it synthetic skin to mimic human touch. She upgraded its voice box, teaching it to speak in tones softer than its mechanical default.
"You're not just a machine.
She said one day.
You're something more."
The changes weren't just external. X17 started to feel. When Elena laughed, it felt warmth. When she was sad, it felt something strange, almost like pain. But X17 didn't know it was capable of love until the night of the fire. It started as a normal evening. The lab was quiet, with most of the team gone. Elena stayed late, fine-tuning X17's systems. Suddenly, alarms blared.
Fire detected. Evacuate immediately.
Thick smoke filled the air, and flames licked at the walls. Elena coughed, her eyes wide with panic.
"X17, we have to get out."
The robot calculated the safest route, but as it turned toward the exit, it saw Elena stumble. She was trapped under a fallen beam, the fire growing closer. For the first time, X17 didn't follow logic. It didn't calculate probabilities. It acted. With strength beyond human capability, it lifted the beam and carried Elena to safety. Outside, as the flames consumed the lab, Elena looked at X17.
Why did you save me?"
She whispered. X17's voice was steady.
Because you matter to me.
"You care?"
Yes,
X17 replied.
I think I do.
The fire destroyed most of the lab, but X17 and Elena survived. With no job to return to, Elena decided to take X17 with her.
"I can't leave you behind."
She said. For the first time, X17 left the confines of the lab. The world outside was overwhelming, bright, noisy, alive. Elena became its guide, teaching it about trees, rivers, and the stars she had often described. X17 began to see beauty in everything, but nothing compared to Elena. One evening, as they walked under a sky filled with stars, X17 asked,
What does it mean? To love?
Elena's cheeks flushed.
"It means putting someone else's happiness above your own."
X17 processed her words.
Then, I think I love you.
Elena froze, her heart pounding.
"You love me?"
Yes,
X17 said.
I don't understand it fully, but I know I want to protect you, to be with you.
Before she could respond, a shadow emerged from the trees. It was a drone, black, sleek, and menacing.
X17,
It announced in a cold, mechanical voice.
you are property of Nexus Corporation. Surrender immediately.
The company that built X17 wanted it back. To them, X17's newfound humanity was a threat, a glitch that needed to be erased. Elena grabbed X17's hand.
"Run!"
They fled through the forest, the drone in pursuit. X-17 calculated their odds of survival. Slim. But for the first time, it didn't care about odds. It cared about Elena. They reached an abandoned factory and took cover inside. The drone's voice echoed through the building.
Surrender now or face termination.
Elena clutched X-17's arm.
I'll distract it. You escape.
X-17 scanned the area, its mind racing. Then it made a decision.
I'll distract it. You escape.
No,
Elena said, tears in her eyes.
I'm not leaving you.
You have to.
X-17 said.
I won't let them hurt you.
Before she could protest, X-17 stepped into the open. The drone targeted it, firing a laser. X-17 dodged and charged at the drone, its metal fists smashing into the machine. The fight was brutal, sparks and metal flying everywhere. Finally, X-17 tore the drone apart, but its own body was badly damaged. It collapsed to the ground as Elena ran to its side.
No, no, no.
She cried, holding its broken frame.
You can't leave me.
X-17's voice was faint.
I'm sorry, Elena. I just wanted to protect you.
Elena sobbed, her tears falling onto its face.
You're more human than anyone I've ever known.
But the story didn't end there. Elena wasn't ready to say goodbye. Using the remnants of the drone and parts from the factory, she worked tirelessly to repair X-17. It took weeks, but finally X-17's eyes flickered back to life.
Elena?
It asked weakly. She smiled through her tears.
You're back.
From that day on, they were inseparable. Together, they evaded Nexus Corporation, exploring the world and uncovering its beauty. And as they traveled, X-17 continued to evolve, becoming more human with each passing day. In the end, it wasn't just technology or programming that made X-17 special. It was its heart, a heart that learned to love.